Viewers, I think this is like a breaking news for all of you because Arjun Mohan believes that, none of the jobs are going. Doctors, engineers, chartered accountants, everybody are safe. India might not be, in the front end, but it actually holds the whole back end.
Runs the back end.
Runs the back end.
What also we should understand is that this generation is also quite smart. So they also do understand that I also need to work hard. So that's a big change, right?
Hello everyone, welcome to IIC Lakshya's YouTube channel. I'm extremely excited today because we're going to start something very new. Not new in the market, everybody does this. But for IIC Lakshya, it's the first time. We start with a podcast. Podcast to talk about a lot of things with respect to careers, with respect to stories of success, with respect to how the new India is getting shaped, with respect to finance and a lot of other things. And this journey is going to be with you and with everyone looking at getting a lot of ideas, lot of understandings on finance, commerce and other careers also. Now, today, as we start the first episode, it is very important to select the right person who could talk about careers, who could talk about future, who could talk about the real understanding of what a student needs to do maybe at the age of 17 or 18. Because right now is the time when a lot of kids are taking their decisions. So extremely important to know what is the right path for the future. And that is why we have Mr. Arjun Mohan. He's one of, the person who has really shaped the edtech industry in India. You name, an industry which catered to a K-12. He was part of Byju's. If you look at the engineering medicine industry, he was part of Akash. You look at the, working professional category where even with respect to graduation, post-graduation and certain other courses for a working class, we have Upgrad. He's also associated with commerce and part of the board of IIC Lakshya. So I think, he has traveled across all the industries, with respect to, education as such. And today I'm extremely happy that I get a chance to speak to him. And what do I say? His role right now is into more of consulting. He's trying to make sure that India has a wonderful, future with respect to education. So welcome, sir, to this podcast. Thank you so much for being our first, first person to be on this podcast episode for us.
Yep.
So, before we start talking about anything for that matter, I just wanted to ask a very different question. I don't, to something that I wanted to know personally, maybe many of them want to know. It's about your career, what was your thought process in choosing? How did your career shape up? How was your journey, your thinking, your education? Little light on that.
Yeah. No, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. To you, IIC Lakshya, Orwell, most importantly, the students and the faculty and the executives of IIC Lakshya, whom we all work together with. And very excited to be the first guinea pig of this show. I'm pretty sure that we will reach our objective of giving the right feedback to the students who is trying to figure out what should be the career path. So yeah, so the apt question to start is about my career, right? I am from this place called Kannur. Okay, North Kerala, a typical what you call as a small town, at least at the time I was growing up, yeah. Right? And so typically for a person like me, a kid, I would say average, above average at school, the career path in the early, I would say 2000s was very well set.
Yeah.
If you study well, you take science after 10th standard, then you stay confused, figuring out engineering or medicine, and then you write the entrance exam. Whatever you get better score in, you go to a campus and then you study that, whether it's engineering or medicine, right? Medicine was always in high demand. But I think by the time I wrote engineering, I really, the 11th and 12th kind of helped me realize I liked math.
Okay.
So I was excited about it.
Okay.
So I ended up becoming an engineer.
Okay.
Right. And then during engineering, I discovered management.
Okay.
And that's how I ended up becoming an MBA.
That looks very different. Discovered management while doing engineering.
Exactly, right? So I don't think my career is unique
Okay.
till I started working. I would say
Okay.
I am like any other small town boy of India who went through the post-liberalization phase of this country and ended up building a career based on the opportunities we knew about,
Okay.
rather than not the reality.
Okay.
Right? So that's how my my education ended up happening. My education shaped my career.
Okay.
But I think once I started working, that's when I went into a metro.
Okay.
Bangalore. Or when I was studying in NIT, that's when I got exposed to students from all across the country.
Okay.
And that's when you really open up.
Okay.
You get that exposure. You realize what all are the possibilities
Okay.
in career and in life. You realize what you're good at and how you can build on it. So I think that's where the confidence also starts growing. You get more and more clearer on what you want to do. You start rather than accepting what everyone tells you or what your peers do, you start saying that maybe this is what I will enjoy.
Okay.
And hence you do good at, right? So in fact, my love for teaching is something which I recognized when I was working in Bangalore.
Okay.
That's when I met Baiju and realized that I really like to teach, and the whole pivot into edtech happened, and so on and so forth, right? Yeah, so that's how it all happened.
but one thing that I wanted to ask in this is that, do you think institutions that you studied, did it play a very big role? Because right now in the current education scenario, people talk about, do we require to go to an institution? Is it okay that I just study on the job, or is it online? So did the institution play a big role? Like if you look at commerce education, see, like IIC Lakshya is an institution which kind of gives a wholesome package, where you have classes, you have add-on programs. It kinds of not just make you a chartered accountant or an ACCA, it kinds of brings an institution into it. Does it play a role?
See, you had basically picked up a key topic which is getting debated online these days, right? Whether the whole idea of college education will survive or will it become skill-based training, right? Personally, I feel that institutions are very important in shaping a person's more than career, it lets an individual or a student really understand what are they good at. So I really think that this 3 years or 4 years which you do in a bachelor institution is important from a social perspective. Right? If you're very clear by 12th standard what you want to do, then why go into a university? Go to a trade school, go to a polytechnic, right? But that's not what it is, right? I would say this is still the time where a student is clear that, okay, I'm going to enjoy commerce or engineering or medical, but I still don't know. I need to figure it out. It is when you come there, when you meet your peers, when you interact in classroom, right? When you understand, when you talk to your teachers, you find new mentors. So there is so much more of social aspects to it.
Correct.
Which is non-tangible. Right? And hence I think it's very important.
True.
Okay. Take the case of IIC Lakshya itself, right? Having such a campus is an integral part of doing this course. In my view, right? This is important. And you will see that in students also today, right?
Correct.
Today, if you talk to a Gen Z kid who is trying to figure out which institution or university they want to go, right? In our generation, the only thing which used to matter was placement. Now it's not the case. Now the students really want to know how is the infrastructure, how is the life on campus, what all things will happen, will I have a good time in it. All these are important. And I think it is really important.
It is important.
Maybe we didn't understand when we were studying. But actually it's all important.
It's important.
So hence I think the whole idea of institution in shaping a person's career or shaping a person's personality, it occupies a very important part of it.
Very true, very true. So I think that's where it all comes down to, the kind of between the age of 18 and 23, where you exactly spend your time. It matters a lot with respect to your job and what you do in the future.
Absolutely.
But wonderful to know your journey at the initial start. This, I think, is something where people wanted to know. They know you from what you've contributed to the edtech, but wonderful to hear that about learning management from while doing engineering or something. Very nice to know. Yeah. So we'll go to the next important segment
Sure.
of careers and all those things. So now, as we spoke about your journey and your career, what I see is that slowly I feel that there is a shift in career choices of students. It could be due to, I think commerce has kind of, had a small impact where students have started to look at commerce as an option. And also other, you talk about skill oriented courses and all that. So, at a time where, as you said, medicine and engineering were the only choices which students used to do.
Yeah.
Do you see a shift in the career choices of students?
100%, like 100%, right? And I would say it's two things. Number one is it's a broader reflection of the society and the generation we live in, right? This generation is way more confident than we were, right? So they are not the ones who will be swayed by public opinion or popular opinion, right? We were swayed by that because we were always told that you want a job, you want to make a livelihood, you better go for this. These guys don't care, right? So that confidence allows them to really ask the question, what all are the things?
Okay.
I may not enjoy my life being an engineer or a doctor, so what else can I do? And that's very important. We all should recognize that what we are looking at today, or this whole diversification of career which we are seeing. I'm not saying that medical and medicine or engineering is losing its popularity. It's still really popular.
Absolutely.
But what I'm really excited today is the kids of today are keen on diversification. They want to know what are the other options because they want to do something in their life which they will be happy about doing all their life.
Okay.
And hence will do well. That's the most important thing, right? So that's one thing which we are seeing. Second is, see, India as an economy is doing, I mean, I would say that we have done incredible job in last few years. Last 15-20 years, post-liberalization, we have really done well, as a result of which the opportunities domestically has improved.
Yes.
Right? There was a time when really good engineers and doctors always made their way to the United States, right? So if you go to any advanced economy today, you will see doctors and engineers from India are the ones who build it out, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it stopped today. It's still the case. You look at even a technology like AI, you will see most of the CTOs are Indians, right? That is how the pace is. But that has started happening in multiple other careers also.
Yeah.
Commerce and finance. Again, you will see large number of Indians across the country. Don't even go to United States. United States, you'll find a lot of people, right? Go to places like Middle East. See the number of Indians who are running financial systems there.
Correct.
Right? So India is big. The second trend we should understand is India was always the HR pool for this developed world.
True.
And that is just becoming bigger and bigger. And it is becoming diverse. Right? So I really think that this is really getting diversified, especially if you look at South India. South India always, commerce was something which was preferred by students who never used to study well.
Correct.
That is not the case in West India. I mean, even in the 90s and 2000s, there were institutions in Bombay, in Kolkata, in Delhi, teaching commerce, math and things like that, where getting in was impossible because they were such premier institution. But now this trend has gone across the country.
Okay.
If you are a good student, engineering and medicine are not just the options you consider. You actually ask yourself, what should I do so that I'll be successful? What will I do which I will enjoy? Right? And that's the choice the kids are taking. So that's definitely happening, and that trend is only growing.
Yeah. Now, I can ask you a very biased question.
Yes.
Because I'm in finance.
Yeah.
How do you think things are shaping up in the next, say, 10 to 15 years? Because I always believe that a child's decision of taking a course or choosing a career should be something that should be forecasted to at least 15 to 20 years, because they start real earning maybe at the age of 30, 35.
Absolutely.
And that time the career should still remain relevant.
Yep.
So you have any idea about the career shaping? Now how the world is going to change, say in 10 to 15 years? Finance,
Yeah,
where does it stay?
see, this is if you go and see all the trending videos of the time, right? Most of the luminaries in tech are saying that all the 80% of the jobs will go out, 90% of the jobs will go out, only 4 jobs will survive. Personally, I don't believe in all these things. I think that AI is a extremely powerful technology which has come in, which will shape a lot of things we will do in future. Okay, but at best I see AI as similar to a spreadsheet
Okay.
or a Microsoft Office,
Hmm.
really revolutionizing the office spaces and productivity, right? But it did not kill any jobs.
Yes.
It just took, or it just told the people or made the people doing a particular job to or to improve on the skill set.
True.
Where they can use new tools.
Yes.
So I really don't think any of the jobs of today, be it a developer job or a doctor's job or a scientist's job or a chartered accountant's job or a cost accountant's job or a management accountant's job, I don't really think any of this is going away. But I think that all of this are going to get reshaped because the technology or the tools which you have access today is incredibly powerful. Right? I mean, today we keep saying that, no, we will professionalize organization. What is the first thing you will do when you are professionalizing organization? You will bringing analysts to do
Yes, obviously.
Excel sheets. You will create data
Yes,
flows.
yes.
You create data, dashboards.
True.
Using which you have more predictability. All these things. Right?
Yes.
So now all those things can be made faster.
True.
But jobs are not really changing.
Yeah.
Now the whole question is, would we need so many people? I think with the technology growing, right, our expectations are also growing.
True.
Right?
Yes.
So when this is our expectation today, this is where we are. This is where our technology is. If the technology goes here, our expectations are also growing.
True.
Right? So I really don't think that this catch up is ever going to happen or anyone is going out of job. The only ones who will go out of jobs are the ones who will not learn to use the tools. So whatever you are doing, whether you are doing ACCA or CA or CF, CP or whatever it is, all these are going to be there, but be an AI native. Be a digital native so that you can do your job better because the expectations are going to be much more.
Super.
So I don't really think any of these jobs are going.
Super.
So we are all safe. We can keep teaching.
Viewers, I think this is like a breaking news for all of you because Arjun Mohan believes that, none of the jobs are going. Doctors, engineers, chartered accountants, everybody, you're safe. But what he said is, learn the tools, learn the most important, softwares or the changes, the AIs, whatever comes, everything is going to help you out. So that's a breaking news for all our viewers. And this is the first time I've heard someone say that AI is not taking away jobs because all the podcasts everywhere talks only about AI taking away jobs. I think that's a very nice thing to listen to. So we'll go to the next segment now. So now I want to really talk about India as a country. As you said, wonderfully getting developed, and it's been like last 15, 20 years kind of work that is being done, especially India is on the global map.
Absolutely.
People are looking at India as a very important country, the kind of impact that we are having. And especially as Keralites, as Malayalis, we were there everywhere, even
Always.
before, always.
Yeah.
So it is not a new thing for us.
Absolutely.
But still India, is on the global map right now. So looking at the global perspective, how do you look at, global certifications, global teachings? Like for example, if I take ACCA, just being, talking about IIC Lakshya, it's a global qualification from UK. But we see a lot of students doing ACCA right now. So is it that the global certifications are getting more relevant? And second, do these smaller city, town students on smaller city also natives are now looking for, going abroad, maybe even doing global certification working in India? How do you look at India on the global map along with global certifications?
Absolutely. So I think we briefly spoke about this earlier, right? See, India was always the highly skilled human resource capital or human resource source for the world. Highly skilled. Anyone where you go, right? Whether it is engineering, medical, finance, commerce, biotechnology, whatever it is, right? It was always the case. And that is only growing. Because it seems like we still have a lot of students who are genuinely interested in studying more and more, going out and working for the world, right? So I think the opportunity, see, I see our country more as a soft global power.
Okay.
We are not the a hard global power like US or China, which believes in going and what do you say, completely taking over and showing their muscles or anything.
Yeah.
We are silent.
Okay.
But nobody can take us, I mean, everyone takes us seriously because finally we run the back end of everything today.
So,
like literally, right?
Yeah.
And that is the opportunity, I think, for this population, right? You should not even think that your opportunity is only in India. You should think that your opportunity is global, right? You took the example of ACCA. Go to Middle East and see who are all the ACCA professionals signing, right? Because the UK, I mean, like this financial compliance is accepted there, right? So most of them are Indians, right? You will see the same thing with CPA in the US also. So this is what is happening. All these certification, these professional certification requires a lot of focus, require a lot of studies, requires a lot of commitment from the students. Unfortunately, we don't see that commitment in the developed economy. So where do they look at? They look at here. So my advice to all the students who are looking at a career is that I would say you are anyway smart enough to understand that your opportunities are wide. What I would say is your opportunity is globally wide. There is no stopping you. The second aspect or the negative aspect which is coming out there, which also, I mean, I'm just trying to answer a question which may become a doubt later. So we are also seeing global tightening of migration. Right? Few years ago, study abroad was at a rage. Right? No Everyone here wanted to. I mean, there is a company here which in no time became one of the largest in the country doing study abroad. But in whatever has been happening for last 2 years, we can see that the tide has completely changed. It has become super expensive because of the rupee devaluation. Okay, it is getting a visa to any of these Western countries where the students go to, be it US, be it UK, be it Australia. All these have become very tough. So there is a global tightening against migration. So the question students may have is, okay, I will be trained in this, but then what do? I can't go out. But that is where the beauty of internet comes in. To do these kind of back office jobs, right? This has become back office job. You don't really go to these places. Like look at most of the big 4 companies. What's the work they are doing today? They are running CPA operations, ACCA operations of a lot of Western countries today. So hence, whether the migration is easily possible or not easily possible, I would say the opportunities for a kid, be it small town, metro, so on and so forth in India, is global. And they should be aware of it before making that decision.
So I think one of the best points that you made is, India might not be, in the front end, but it actually holds the whole back end.
Runs the back end.
Runs the back end. If not for India, I think, if you look at every sectors for that matter, we have Indians actually looking at the back end. We have the global opportunities in front. I think this is where education is slowly shaping differently for students also. And you've already spoken about AI. Already you've spoken about AI also. So how do you look at AI also in this? Like when AI comes, will these backend works and all get disrupted?
I really don't think so. See, I would say that there are jobs which will get disrupted. There is no question about it. But as I told you, right, your expectations keeps moving ahead. So this will change the color of it. There will be enough regulations. There will be enough expectation which will be added to it. Where this nature of the jobs may change, the expectations, the KPIs of the job may change, but I don't think the job as such is going to change. Right? So there's so much of discussion on whether the developer jobs will go away, whether so much of consulting jobs will be required and other things. All I would say is that I don't really think any of these things are going away.
Yeah.
Yes, they will get disrupted for sure.
Yeah.
The way Indian IT companies are working today will get disrupted. It is the nature. But why are you thinking that this is the only time it was getting disrupted? It was getting disrupted so many times.
So many times. Yeah.
Right. So this is just a big disruption.
Okay.
So change with time. That's the only thing you can do.
Sure. Yes. So now we'll move to the next set of questions that I have with you. So now I'm going to a very interesting question, which is the talk of the town right now.
Because if you look at the syllabus of BCom and the syllabus of ACCA, there's a lot of intersection. But today's generation has understood the point that why do you want to waste time? Since I am a big fan of integrated.
What do you think about this young generation's interest to start earning at a very young age?
So if you look at the educational institutions in the country, right, we always had more demand than supply. The most important thing in an educational institution is discipline. Being empathetic is important. All my new generation kids in the office are lazy. The skill set required to be successful in their environment is very different. So for me, it may have been being really good at math. For them, it may have been making very good reels.